Alright guys, so just burned through my first set of these Adventure Cross Bridgestone BATTLAX AX41 Adventure Cross tires, and got my next set installed right there on the GS Adventure. And since there's only a handful of videos out there, I thought I would put one together. I've been riding on these tires for probably 4 months or more. And right up front, I'll tell you that I got nearly 6,000 miles on it, which was primarily on the highway. If I had to guess, I'd say 20% of it was dirt road, 20 to 30% off-road trails. So I'll show you around the tread and what happened here, and how much they wore down, front and rear, real quick. And then I've got a bunch of footage I've collected over all the time that all the different rides I've been on that I'll throw together here. And we'll go out and we'll talk about these tires. Okay, so as for these tires, let's start with the front one. I think they've ridden maybe a mile. Okay, so biggest concern is the size of the gap in between the lugs, right? That's my biggest concern. With the one review that I did see, dude got a giant puncture in there because there's not a whole lot of protection. So that's really the only concern I ever had on these. But now, as far as how long these things lasted, yeah, like I said, kind of darn near, I'll have to check the mileage, but I think it was close to 6,000 miles. And so starting at the front here, if you needed to, I know some of you guys run these things a long way down. You can see the wear bar right here. There's a long way from contact.